What would you do if you woke up in a destroyed hotel room, your friend's tooth was missing, there was a tiger in your bathroom, a baby in your closet, and you had absolutely no memory of how any of it happened? Oh, and the groom is missing. The wedding is in less than 48 hours. Welcome to the worst hangover in history.
Control yourself. God damn, will you put on some pants?
Tiger in the bathroom!
What's going on?
There's a jungle cat in the bathroom!
Okay. I'll check it out.
Go in.
Oh,
Holy
fuck, he's not kidding, there's a tiger in there. No, there is.
Yeah!
This story starts in Las Vegas, but before we get there, let me take you back to where it all begins. Doug is getting married to Tracy, the love of his life. Everything is perfect. The wedding venue is booked, the guests are ready, and all Doug wants is one epic bachelor party with his two best friends and his soon-to-be brother-in-law. Phil is the confident one. He's a school teacher, but don't let that fool you. This guy lives for chaos. He's the type of friend who will get you into trouble and somehow make you thank him for it later. Then there's Stu, a dentist who's dating possibly the most controlling woman on the planet. She monitors his every move, and Stu doesn't have the backbone to stand up to her. He tells her they're going to Napa Valley for wine tasting. He's lying. They're going to Vegas. And finally, there's Alan, Tracy's younger brother. He is socially awkward, says things that make everyone uncomfortable, and has no filter whatsoever. Doug's future father-in-law gives them his prized vintage Mercedes to drive to Vegas. Big mistake. Huge mistake. The four of them hit the road, excitement building with every mile. They arrive at Caesar's Palace, check into a villa that costs more than most people's rent, and get ready for the night of their lives. They head up to the rooftop, dressed sharp, drinks in hand. Alan gives a strange but oddly touching toast about being part of a wolf pack. They raise their glasses, they drink, and then nothing. The screen goes black. When we come back, it's morning. The sunlight is brutal. Phil wakes up first, and the room looks like a war zone. Furniture is destroyed. There's a chicken walking around. Stu is passed out, and when he looks in the mirror, he realizes one of his front teeth is completely gone. Nobody remembers anything, and I mean nothing. The last thing any of them recall is that toast on the rooftop. But here's the real problem. Doug is nowhere to be found. They search the suite. They call his name. They check every room. That's when they find the tiger. A full-grown, living, breathing tiger is locked in the bathroom. How did it get there? Nobody knows. Then they hear crying. They open the closet, and there's a baby. A real human infant in a car seat. Whose baby is this? Nobody knows that either. The panic sets in. The wedding is tomorrow. Doug is missing. And these three guys have to piece together the craziest night of their lives using whatever clues they can find. They start retracing their steps. The hospital seems like a good place to begin since one of them apparently checked in last night. They show up, and the staff recognizes them immediately. Turns out, Stu was admitted with a missing tooth, and someone in their group was treated after a run-in with a stun gun. They find a hospital bracelet that doesn't belong to any of them. Another clue, another mystery. Their next stop takes them somewhere none of them expected, a wedding chapel. The Elvis-themed kind. Stu, the guy with the controlling girlfriend, apparently got married last night to a woman he just met. Her name is Jade, and she's a dancer at one of the clubs. Stu has no memory of this, none. But the marriage certificate is real, and so is the wedding ring on his finger. They track down Jade, and she's surprisingly sweet. She seems genuinely happy about the marriage. She also reveals the baby belongs to her. Stu was apparently great with the kid last night. She gives them more pieces of the puzzle, but Doug's whereabouts are still a mystery. Things escalate quickly. The tiger? It belongs to Mike Tyson. Yes, that Mike Tyson, the heavyweight champion. Apparently, these guys broke into his mansion and stole his pet. Now they have to return it before he finds them. Sneaking a tiger into the back of a Mercedes is exactly as difficult as it sounds. The animal wakes up mid-drive and destroys the interior of the car. They barely make it out alive. When they return the tiger, Tyson shows them security footage from his mansion. They watch themselves stumbling around his property, clearly out of their minds. Footage shows them leaving with Doug, but where they went after that remains unclear. However, Tyson mentions they were talking about a wedding at the chapel. That's already been checked. Dead end. Then things take a darker turn. The police show up and arrest all three of them. Apparently the car they've been driving was reported stolen. But here's the twist. It's not the Mercedes. It's a police cruiser. Somehow, during their blackout, they stole a cop car. In the trunk, They find some unusual items that only deepen the mystery. At the station, they are given an option. The charges get dropped if they agree to be demonstration subjects for a group of elementary school kids learning about stun guns. Phil gets tased in front of a room full of children. It's humiliating, but they're free. Back on the hunt, they discover someone has been tracking them all night. A small, intense man named Chow. He confronts them in the parking garage, demanding his property back. He believes they stole $80,000 from him. They have no idea what he's talking about. Chow has taken Doug hostage in exchange for the money. Finally, a lead on where Doug might be. The problem? They don't have $80,000, but Alan does. Or rather, he had it. That money was a wedding gift from his father to Doug. Alan brought it to Vegas and apparently lost it all during the blackout. Now, they need to get that money back. The plan? Count cards at the blackjack table. Alan, despite his oddness, is actually a genius with numbers. He learned card counting from a book and decides to put his skills to the test. The tension in the casino is unreal. Security is watching. The stakes are impossibly high. If they fail, Doug is gone forever. Against all odds, Alan wins. He wins big. They gather the cash and prepare to make the exchange. Chow meets them in the desert. The handoff happens. They open the trunk expecting to find Doug, and it's the wrong guy. It's not Doug. It's a stranger. Someone they apparently grabbed during the night who has no connection to any of them. The despair hits hard. They've run out of leads. Doug is still missing. The wedding is hours away. Stu breaks down. Phil is out of ideas. Alan is silent for once. Then the breakthrough comes. One small detail triggers a memory. Something someone said. Something about the roof. They race back to Caesar's palace and take the elevator to the very top. There, passed out on a mattress, sunburned beyond recognition, is Doug. He's been on the roof the entire time. They accidentally left him there after the toast. He's dehydrated and confused, but he's alive. The rush to the wedding is chaotic. They're speeding through traffic. Doug is barely conscious, and they have minutes to spare, but they make it. Doug walks down the aisle. Tracy is waiting. The ceremony happens. At the reception, the guys finally relax. Stu stands up to his girlfriend and ends the toxic relationship. He realizes his night with Jade showed him what it feels like to be with someone who actually appreciates him. Phil seems like he might actually settle down a bit. And Alan? Alan is just happy to finally be part of the wolf pack. Then comes the final moment. Someone finds a camera. The photos from that night start loading. What appears on that screen shocks everyone. The things they did, the places they went, the chaos they caused. It's all there in vivid detail. They agree to look at the photos once, together, and then delete everything. Some memories are better left forgotten. And that is how the greatest bachelor party in history ended.